Howdy, my name is Eric Fish. I'm an Associate Professor of English at Northeast State Community College. And I'm doing this video to show students how to access D2L if they've never accessed it before. For my classes, I'm going to send everybody an email to whatever's listed in the Northeast State system as your email address saying, hey, here's how you access D2L. And this is the video they're going to see. So this is basically for people who've just never been into D2L before. For accessing D2L, the best way to access it is through the Students tab on the Northeast State homepage. And again, I'm just at northeaststate.edu. I'm just going to click on Students, then click on My Northeast. And Northeast prefers you use My Northeast to access D2L, and I'll show you why here in a second. If you're using your birth date for your password, make sure you change that to something you'll remember. That way, if you're on Facebook, students aren't on Facebook much anymore, but if you're on Facebook and it comes up and says, hey, happy birthday, everybody knows your password. And that's bad, particularly for My Northeast. If your password is just your birthday, people can get in here, they can add classes, they can drop your classes, they can do all kinds of unpleasant, horrible things to you. So make sure you're changing that password to something beyond your birth date. One reason Northeast State wants you to come in here, this is where you're going to access your student mail. I'm not a student, so I don't have access to that. But you want to click on that, you'll access your student mail. That's very important. If the financial aid office sends you 20 emails saying, hey, we're about to purge you because you didn't fill out a piece of paperwork, they expect you to check that email and respond to it, right? Because then they'll purge you. Then you're like, oh, why did I get purged? And like, we sent you 20 emails. Like, well, I don't check that account. I'm going to be like, well, that's the only account we have for you. Sorry. So make sure you're checking that. It's not the most exciting thing to do. It's tedious, I know, but do it anyway. You can register for classes and everything up here. I'm not going to show you everything about My Northeast, but definitely want to check your student email. Then you want to come down here to Desire to Learn. You just check on that or click on that. Showing my age there. And you'll come to the Northeast State login. This elearn.northeaststate.edu is a different server than the Northeast State server. So for some reason, My Northeast is down. You can just go straight to this login page. I would go ahead and bookmark that if you're in an internet class, which most of you are going to be. That's just a super important login page to know. And you can just access directly without going to My Northeast. But again, you want to go to My Northeast and check your email and things like that. Keep active with the college. Again, your passwords are going to be your birthday in 6 digits. Change that to something you'll remember. Again, if somebody just says happy birthday, at your place of worship or something, then everybody knows your D2L password, and they can get in there and delete your essays and email your instructors and do all kinds of nasty stuff. So make sure you're protecting that user password. Don't just leave it as your birth date. If you do have a problem, like you change your password and forget it, you can call up Michael Collins here. There's his information. He's a very, very helpful person. He's excellent at what he does here at Northeast State. He manages D2L and quite a bit of other stuff. He's the man, so to speak. So just email him with any problems you're having. He'll get back to you pretty quickly. I'm going to type in mine. Oh, wait a minute. And once you get into D2L, and again, D2L is short for Desire to Learn. Sometimes you might hear it called Brightspace, but most instructors are going to use the term D2L. This is just the online platform for your courses. If you're meeting in a traditional course, you may not have a lot on here. Most summer 2020 courses are online, so everybody's on D2L. But most instructors on D2L are going to have some stuff up there. It's the easiest way to email the class. I'll show you here in a second. To check your D2L email, and that's different from your student email, so make sure you got 2 Northeast State email accounts. And again, a lot of students aren't even used to using email for that much, but make sure you're keeping track of all these things. Particularly D2L email, this is how I email all my classes. It's just kind of a nice place within the system where I can access everybody at the same time. To check your email, make sure you do that before you get into a particular course. If I've gotten to my Comp 1 course there and checked email, it would only show me the emails for that one course. So if you're taking multiple courses, you want to check the email before you get into one particular course. And it should have a little orange dot there telling you have email. Make sure you check the announcements. These are going to be important. They don't throw a lot of stuff on D2L, but the stuff they put on there is important. If you're interested in peer mentoring, for example, that might be a good thing for you if you're new to internet courses and want a little help there. If you're having trouble with Wi-Fi, things like that. These don't change that often, but make sure you read them once in a while. Scroll on down, see what's going on. That's how the college is communicating with you. And again, when students say, "Well, I didn't know," then they're gonna pull this up and go like, "Well, there it was," and you're gonna be like, so make sure you're checking stuff. But eventually, you want to go ahead and get into a course. You'll see them listed there. If you don't see a course, one, make sure you're in the correct semester. If you were in here for spring 2020, and this is your first time in D2L, it's going to say spring 2020, and you got to scroll on over to summer 2020 if you're going to be in a summer 2020 course. But I'm going to click on my Comp 1 course and just go over a few of the basic functions. I'm not going to show you everything about D2L. Every instructor is a little bit different and uses things differently. Hopefully they're going to send you a video or an email telling you what you should be getting into. Generally on the first page you might see some reminders. I always have little reminders, things about what's coming due. You might have some other information. For example, for my Comp 1 class, we're going to use the Remind app, so I can send out text reminders to students and they can text me back. I don't know if it's going to be any faster, but sometimes it's a hassle to access D2L, get into your email, and the D2L email on your phone is difficult to use. So we're going to try the Remind, see if the texting works a little bit better, at least for short questions. A few of the functions, when the instructor wants you to put something in the Dropbox, you won't see anything that says Dropbox here, right? What they're talking about is the Assignments tab. And then you have these Dropbox folders down here where you'll submit material. You just click on that and hopefully you can kind of follow around. Hopefully the instructor will give you a little information about how to submit things. But when somebody says, I want you to put that in a D2L Dropbox, talking about going to the Assignments tab, coming down here and picking the correct box to submit your material in. Some instructors like to use the calendar. I don't, particularly for summer courses, because if I change one thing, then I got to go back and change the entire calendar. And it's a very painful. Plus, students are probably doing that for themselves. That's different instructors feel differently about that. But the calendar's there. You can add stuff to your own calendar, by the way, which is what I encourage students to do, either here or in some other calendar format. Class list, you'll see everybody listed in the course. Make sure if you don't see your instructor, you might be over here on students. So if I'm on the students tab, you won't see me on there. Again, my name's Eric Fish. You want to click on all, and then you'll see your instructor here. Make sure if it only says 20 per page, if your instructor's last name begins with a Z, you might have to click down to 200 per page or whatever to see everybody in the course. Hopefully there's not 200 people in your course. But this is a very interesting one. You can kind of see everybody's usernames. You can see everyone's username, so those are not private. So if your instructor kind of throws out a username at some point, or does what I'm doing, just showing it to you in a video, those are not personal private. That's not personal private information. Your password is. That's why you want it to be something more than your birthday. Because if you went to high school with one of these people, all of a sudden they know your username, and they probably can kind of start guessing at your password if they know your birthday, right? And know about how old you are. But so be careful with passwords. But if you want to email your instructor, well, you got to know your instructor's name, obviously, but you just click on the instructor's name, and the email function will come up, and you can send your instructor an email. Also, you can email the whole class. I don't know why a student would want to do this, but you can. But this is how I contact all of my students in one email, and that's why D2L email is so important. I don't send send everybody an individual email very often. I want to send the class a message, and that's how I do it. So make sure that you'll see the names pop up before you send your email. Make sure you're sending it to the person you actually want to send it to. Excuse me. On the content page, that's where you're going to find a lot of your assignments and the syllabus addendum and the class schedule and stuff like that. Kind of be careful once you get into it. If the last thing you clicked on was exercises, D2L will pull this up the next time. So you're like, I don't see all my assignments and stuff. All I see is the exercises. It's because you're on the exercise tab. Just need to come up to table of contents, and you can see everything for the class there. So the content's generally where assignments and things like that are going to be. If your instructor is going to be doing discussion boards, they'll be here under discussions. If your instructor's doing a D2L gradebook, and most instructors do these days, I want to show you what the instructor side looks like. One, you get your list of students on the left, and then you get all these boxes to fill in going all the way across the page. It's very easy to transpose numbers. Sometimes D2L versus Excel changes alphabetical order sometimes with students' names. But you can kind of see, like here I got a Chelsea Johnson and a Valerie Johnson. It'd be fairly easy for me to transpose those grades. If something looks wrong in the D2L gradebook, you want to inform your instructor, because a lot of us just download this into Excel and that's our gradebook. But be polite about it. Kind of understand it's very easy to transpose the grade, especially if you got 20, 30, 40 students in a class. So just send a nice, polite email. Don't get mad. Just say, hey, I think you entered the wrong grade. Can you please correct it? If you have quizzes in the class, they'll be under quizzes, obviously. UJA is a video platform. I prefer YouTube videos, but other instructors use UJA. It's just up to the instructor. But if they're saying, go look at the UJA videos, they want you to go here. If you're going to use a D2L ePortfolio for the class, that'll be here, obviously. I don't know if you all have a course admin page. This is the instructor page. But that's kind of some of the basic stuff in D2L. Again, be careful with email. If I click on this email, I may not get anything. Oh, no, I did. But you want to get out of the class and then check email, so you can see emails from all your classes, not just the one particular class. There's other things within D2L, obviously. Every instructor uses it a little bit differently, so if you're like, well, Mr. Fish's video didn't, well, every instructor is going to use D2L a little bit differently depending on the course needs, so kind of keeping that in mind. But those are kind of the basics. That's how to access it. There's some of the basic stuff going on in D2L, and I hope that helps, and I hope you have a good semester. Bye-bye.